Review.
It's like the reviews of the 10-gallon tubs of lube. Those are also great.
I think this is
There
the
was
one.
a review for a
Oh, yeah, here we go.
stationary bicycle, and the person was complaining that it didn't go anywhere. They're really upset.
All right, you guys ready for
They're
this?
like, yes.
All right, so this is a
Lay it on
1-star
me.
review from a person. Hold on, let me get my
Not a dog.
let me get my camera on real quick so I can. All right, here we go. So this guy's name's Luke. The review is "See You in Hell." Haribo sugar-free gummy bears. It was my last class of the semester, and the final exam was worth 30% of the grade. After a late night study session, I felt confident, but I had to decide between sleeping in or cooking breakfast. My eyelids chose sleep. My stomach later regretted this decision, and after several uncomfortable stomach growls, I finally decided to make a stop at the campus bookstore and grab a snack before my tests. Since the semester was ending and everyone was going home for the summer, a lot of the items were on sale, including the snacks and candy that they kept up front. Being in the hungry state that I was, it felt only logical to pick the largest yet least expensive candy in order to get more bang for my buck. And there they sat, 2 bags of Haribo sugar-free gummy bears. Buy one, get one free. What a deal, I thought naively. I would eat 1 bag before my test and 1 bag afterwards. As I walked to class, I gleefully chewed on these abominable little bastards, unaware of the utter mayhem that they would soon unleash upon my poor, poor anus. I sat down at my desk as the professor informed us that due to issues with cheating in the past, restroom breaks would be prohibited until the completion of the exam. I'll give you 10 minutes to use the restroom now. This will be your last chance. Any takers? The demon bears hadn't released their unholy necromancy upon my stomach yet, so in my moment of ignorant foolishness, I remained seated, still munching on those miniature bear-shaped bombs. After the students wise enough to take the professor's offer had returned, the professor handed out the test. I was 6 questions in when it happened. It started subtly at first, almost like a slightly tingle sensation in my lower abdomen. I thought nothing of it, assuming my intestines were just doing their thing. Little did I know that my intestines were trying desperately to warn me of the horror that was on the horizon. By question 9, it happened again, but this time it followed by a sharp pain, as if those infernal hellions had orchestrated an attack upon my colon. I fought to contain the groan that tried to escape my lips. It was at this point I began to panic. Something was going horribly wrong, and I needed to get through the test before it got any worse. By question 14, my worst fear was upon me. The Satan Bear's burning hot liquidy dark magic crashed into my anal sphincter like a tidal wave. I was able to close the hatch just in time, but those relentless toxic bears beat against it like the orcs breaking down the doors of Helm's Deep. I knew I wouldn't be able to so much as shift in my seat without risking a breach. I kept fighting through my exam, clenching my cheeks with all my might. Beads of sweat began rolling down my neck. Suddenly a loud gurgling war cry came from my belly, and the entire class lifted their heads. At this point, nothing mattered, except expelling these ungodly presents from my bowels. With 15 questions left, I promptly wrote C, every answer, and ran out of the classroom. My professor yelled something, but I was too preoccupied with the volcanic eruption that needed to take place before I could find sweet, sweet relief. I burst into the restroom like a Kool-Aid man, and behold, the handicap stall was empty. Sun rays from the adjacent window shone upon it, as if it were gifted from God himself. It took me less than 0.5 seconds to undo my belt buckle, pull down my pants, and finally relax my weary buttocks upon the toilet seat. It took absolutely no effort to expel this demon. Almost immediately, the floodgates of hell were opened, and damned, liquefied souls of entire bags worth of gummy-beared cries as they burned through my sphincter and into the watery abyss below. I never felt such stimulation. I've never felt simultaneously relief and anguish in my life. After 30 more minutes of this, I immediately went home, dug a hole in my backyard, and burned the remaining bag of gummy bears. I leave you with this. Do not, I repeat, do not eat these spawns of Satan. Not only did they cause me to fail my final test, but the anguish I experienced is something I wouldn't wish upon anyone, not even my worst enemy. The only place these godforsaken hellbears belong are buried deep below the Earth's surface.
Very good.
Dude,
Sounds like a.
the best line was that I was able to close the hatch just in time, but those relentless toxic bears beat against it like orcs breaking down the doors of Helm Deep.
That gun looks cool.
Oh my god.
Tommy's matchbook.
Secret didn't seem amused. Secret probably left. Like, this fucker's really reading.
Right? No. That was a fantastic story.
Dude, there's hundreds
I was
more
thinking
of
of
these.
what a douche that teacher was to not allow a bathroom break. Sorry, I was fixated on that.
There's a ton of them. Like, that was just
I feel like
one.
gummy bears are one of those letdown foods. Like, you think it tastes good, but then you actually have it and it has really bad aftertaste. So then you take another one because you have to get the aftertaste out of your mouth, but then you have double the aftertaste. You know what I mean?
Listen to some of these.
The only fruit snacks I actually really enjoyed were the Scooby-Doo ones.
Yes.
Here's
Or gushers. Gushers are also.
here's some of these headlines for these other ones. Digestive overload. Saint Diarrhea's Day Massacre. Oh, it's 5 in the morning and I'm writing this review. Tell my mother I love her.
Can we start playing instead of reading a whole bunch of reviews?
Perfect treat for coworkers who can't be nice. I had to try these when I bought them for my husband. They were definitely tasty. I even got a detox after them, effect from them. However, I did not buy them for myself. I bought them for my husband's evil coworkers. You know the type, the guys who have their hands in everything, including their pants, and then dig into the bag of chips or bears without washing their nasty hands? I know that no one
What?
learned their lesson,
I
but
don't
the
know that
satisfaction was definitely mine.
Let me see that.
Oh my gosh, dude.